cleaned up a few other things. Noticed that MapQuest had the wrong address, and just sort of cleaning up, doing some Google search.
Helping you get found easier. That's awesome. And what about everybody else? Peter, let's ask you. What have you been able to apply?
Well, we're kind of working this together. I've been straightening out my LinkedIn profile a little bit.
That's good. So
I still haven't ventured into Twitter. That's something I do want to.
I don't know if I would bother, to be honest. Genuinely, I wouldn't bother. For a Twitter strategy to work, you need to be on it, I don't know, 15 to 18 to 20 times a day.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm afraid of that I wouldn't be able to keep it up.
I don't think Twitter is what it used to be when it first came out anyway. It's very good for searching news and that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't even try, to be truthful.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a lot better results out of your Instagram and Facebook than you will Twitter.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Sure. Yeah. You mentioned LinkedIn, and in the group I mentioned next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. No, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. I'm interviewing a friend of mine. His name is Kevin Knebel, and he is probably the best LinkedIn networker that I've ever met. And he is so genuine. He and I are exactly the same age. He just gets social media like almost nobody else I know better. And he and I are gonna spend an hour together just talking about how he uses social media to generate 97% of his business leads without spending any money. So you'll enjoy that. It'll be recorded if you can't make it, but it's coming. And that's next Tuesday, August 1st, your time. So if you can't make it, it'll be recorded and it'll be a gem to watch. So yeah. Frank's not there, so I'll mute you and I'll go over to Desiree. Oh, Frank is there. I can see him in the background. Desiree.
Yes.
So how has it been for you so far?
For me, I've just been kind of taking everything in. A lot of stuff I kind of already knew, but it's a matter of figuring out what my husband and I's business purpose is before I just start throwing stuff out there, because we're just still, we purchased a home, but it went the house caught on fire.
Oh, no.
So everything's kind of been put on standstill, because that was going to be, the kickoff to us investing and everything like that. So we were going to fix it up, rent it out, take the revenues that we were making from it and keep on, investing.
Yeah.
But we've been fighting with the insurance company now for a couple months. So it's finally being resolved. So now we're finally getting somewhere. So we're getting ready to finally fix it up and or sell the land and keep it moving. And so once we get some kind of niche in place, then it's okay. Now we need to apply everything.
So that's what they call baptism by fire, right?
There you go.
That would be a good blog post.
And so we're gonna start taking some pictures, like, before and afters kind of thing, and use that to our advantage, a blessing in disguise almost.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's great. So I can see Steve and Diane are up there. So
we're here.
Hello. I know you guys joined with intrepidation that there was so much to learn, but how has it been so far?
It's good. I need to go back through everything that we have talked about, and because I know I haven't done all of it. I did get my LinkedIn profile cleaned up, and we started the business page, but got stopped. We were going to take some pictures, and then Steve had some eye surgery and had a black eye, so that took care of the pictures.
Eye surgery, my foot. She smacked me a good one.
So I am going to post more, and I went today to the Southeastern Builders Conference trade show and took pictures of some of the new products. So I'm going to be posting some of that, writing about some of that, the construction products.
Very, very cool. So you could become an educator on what's new and happening. We work with a home renovation company, and we were in their warehouse today, and the traditional subway tile that a lot of people have done in their bathrooms, she was telling to me now are getting longer and longer. So it used to be like a 3x5, and then it became a 3x9. You can now get a 3x12 subway tile and mix it up, and they get it. The thing is sort of white but bigger, rather than the square tile that everybody did, a while back. So
right. Actually, you can get 24 and 30-inch long now.
See, we've got an expert in the room already.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different installation regulations about it because they're not as easy to install. So your installers need to be updated as well.
So there's a blog in its own right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm going to mute Frank here. Frank and...
Hello.
Yes. Hello again.
Hello.
So how are you guys?
Great. I posted the other day on Equity Title's website or on Facebook, and it's relatively new, so I only got like one response on there, so that was okay. But we're getting a lot of likes on our personal page, which is kind of linked to the other one. And then I shared a page, another person's page on Facebook, and he got 2 contracts out of it.
Oh my goodness!
So he was shocked, and so now I get a discount next time I use it.
So this stuff works, hey?
He couldn't believe it because he's only had Facebook for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he got 2 contracts out of just me liking it.
I'm working with a fellow in Aspen, Colorado. He's a personal fitness trainer. Never used social media. We started with him about 6 weeks ago. And he called me yesterday to say that one of his friends had seen that he had a business going and recommended his friend. He met with his friend's wife, and she just signed up for a 6-month, $15,000 package.
Wow.
That would not have happened if I hadn't been posting on Facebook. So he's like, I'm in, I'm sold. So that's what people, this is where people spend a lot of time, whether it's Craigslist or whatever. I mean, a lot of Facebook buy and sell pages and bidding sites, they all start on Facebook and then they go somewhere. So that's actually what we're going to look at today, is how we take the Facebook to go somewhere and what that looks like, even if you don't have a website. So I'm going to stop and share and come back as we do. So I'm going to share my screen to begin with. And of course, if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat box. I will pick them up and then we will go. While I remember, if anybody's an Apple person, there is an update just come out today, which is Apple 10.3.3 on iTunes. Do not update it unless you have a lot of time. I just thought, sure, I just said yes. My phone was locked for an hour and a half while it was doing this update. And there was nothing I could do to break it. I went, I should have done that last night. And Apple did not say, this is a major, major upgrade and allow time. So just if it comes up on your phone and it says, do you want to update, just say later or later tonight, and it'll be fine. But don't do it in the middle of your day.
See a blog about that.
You betcha. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to manage you guys. I'll mute you all off. And then we'll just carry on. Great. Perfect. Okay. So that's music going for you guys to begin with. Got that going up. And then we go into here. And there we go. Away we go. There we go. So we started with engaging. Then we looked at entertaining. Then we looked at educating, which is where we were at last week. And today we'll look at empowering. So I have these 5 E's of social media, just to remember. And the whole idea at this point is if we've been doing what we suggest we do, which is getting to know people, having some fun with them, and starting to share some knowledge, which obviously some of you have, then it gets to the point, it's like people like, this is a good guy to know. I met a lady recently, she just got a job, she's moved up from Washington State. She needed someone to repair her car and she needed somewhere where she could get foils for her hair. And I gave her 2 referrals straight from social media connections that I had. She didn't even think twice about, should I shop around? Should I get a better price? She went, okay, I knew if I know that you know your stuff. She had a hair appointment and a car service and 2 people, 100% she just trusted me as a go-to person locally to be able to help her out. And that's what you want. You want people to have so much trust that they literally feel empowered to go take action because of the relationship that your social media is building up with them. So we know there's lots of social media platforms out there. Predominantly, I'm living in Facebook land for this course, but Instagram is fantastic. Google Plus, we've talked about for getting the business registered. Twitter, I have an opinion on that. LinkedIn is fantastic for getting yourself verified. And the rest of it is all good fun. But we're passing on most of these. So this is a very Canadian picture that I took sort of earlier this year. And it's like, I'm going on a journey, who's with me? I'm going this way. And that's kind of what you want to do with your social media, is sort of say to people, I may not know it all, but I know a lot more than I used to when it comes to investing and property management and the building codes. And I'm on a journey, who's with me? And you'll be surprised how many people want to follow along. And what I try and do too is try and set some goals for this. So it's not just out there, but it could well be like, I have a business page and by the end of September, I want to have 100 people on my page. And literally I would encourage you to write that down. Or it could be, I don't have an email list right now, but I would like one, and I'd like to have 100 people's email in my list. And just the very fact that, you know how it is, that you write that down and you put a date against when you're going to achieve it, you will. Because if you, just the very intention of writing it down and following through makes it happen. And that would be my goal for you, is to set a landmark. Normally it's 100 likes on Facebook or 100 names in your email list or something like that, just to begin with. Some of you may be way past that, and it's 500. Like I know a few of you got in the 300s with your pages already. And what we're looking at is we're looking at finding ways of engaging our audience, entertaining our audience, and then having that education piece. So this is Jeff Bezos, who is the founder and owner of Amazon. He is now the 3rd richest man in the world. Quite remarkable. And I didn't know all of his story. And I found this video, it was 1:45, and I shared this back on July 23rd, which was Sunday. So just about Sunday lunchtime, I put this out, and it took off straight away. And you can see that it reached, this is from my page, over 2,000 people. Over 500 people took time to go watch that video. And suddenly, what's happening is I'm starting to get a lot of reactions. And so what Facebook is understanding is right in the middle of the day, I've come up with something, and I'll show you the other stats around this because it's quite interesting. Share screen, go to Facebook. I have this lined up. So this is the post, so real life. And then if you look at, you go into video, which is in the back, and you can actually then see how many people spent time watching this video. And Facebook gives you all of this. So it's telling me that obviously 100% of people who were there and clicked on it started to watch, because Facebook videos automatically play. And you can see as time's gone on, how many people in my audience dropped off. But at this point, what it's telling me that the average of the 500 people was 43 seconds. And over 200 of them watched for at least half a minute. Half a minute is a long time. So at this point, I'm still at over 300 people watching something that I have brought to the table, which is educational, entertaining, and I'm getting that engagement because they're watching it on my page. And that's what you want. And when you get a business page, you get all of this data. It's called insights. And then you can, what Facebook is giving us is a lot of great tricks. So it's going to tell me the best time of day that you should be writing your post. So for me, on a Sunday, the best time of day for me to do a post would be 6 o'clock at night. And you can go, my traffic's pretty steady now, but it literally on a day-to-day basis, it will tell you who it is and what it will also do is it'll start to tell you about the people who like your page. So you can actually find out who your audience is, and Facebook catches up with me. Has anybody looked at the insights? Okay, I don't know why it's so slow today. I really don't know why it's so slow, because this should open like that. Anyway, I'll come back to it a little bit later on and let it do its thing, but it will actually show us the age of people, the city that they live in, the state that they come from, and the age. So it's giving you a lot of data around who your people are and what that should look like. And we'll come back to that once it's opened up. But this is the kind of post that I've been dropping a few into the Facebook group to sort of say, this one will work, share it. And I just have a gut reaction now that when I find a post like this, I know it's going to work. There was a post the other day that I shared of a couple that got married, and her son had died and was an organ donor, and then his heart went to this fellow, and they managed to find him, and this fellow came to the wedding. So her son's living heart is at her wedding. That kind of post, you know, is just going to work. And what that does, as I say, you're educating, you're entertaining, and you're bringing people, that serotonin in the brain is now like, this is good stuff. And that's what we really want with that. This is a different one here. Again, I send it out on a Sunday night. I think I mentioned this one already, but excuse the phrase, but 8 brutally honest truths that you need to hear if you want to get your shit together. Now, you can see here that this reached double the Bizos one already, and 77 people shared my post. That means that 77 other people are getting to find out that this came from my page. And none of this is costing us any money. So finding great Facebook posts that you think are relevant to your audience is a home run every single week. And by asking a leading question when you do that post, like, interesting point of view, what did you think of point 1, means they have to open it to find out what point 1 is. So you're keeping that engagement longer by being able to sort of ask those questions and bring it through. And that is an awesome thing to do. There's lots of words that we can put into this strategy, and some of them are negative and some of them are positive, but we've got to find time to find these posts. We've got to feel comfortable, and we've got to sort of put all of this in to be able to get success. And it is a challenge, and that's why we do this course over 5 weeks. That's why I've got the Facebook group. That's why I'm trying to connect with you as many times as I can during the week and follow your stuff as well, so I can be an encouragement to you, so that at the end of this, I want to leave you guys empowered that this is way worth the time investment, the money investment, and that we'll become friends, and that I can help you further along the road as and when you need some help. So the philosophy I've always had with my social media strategy is empowering your readership. And what we're really doing is we're helping them, not selling them. So whether it's going in and helping them set up an alarm system that you've just installed and making some videos on how they program it, or how to do the pool pump to shock the pump, to get the pool right, or night lights that you put on a sensor, or a CCTV that's on the front door, all of these extra little pieces that you might be putting into your homes, helping them understand how to use the tools and maybe making short videos to help them. It's a great way of making a distance between you and anybody else who just like, here's the keys, give me the rent, goodbye. And just having that relationship, I just know makes the biggest difference. And I've spent a lot of time creating posts around social media, and with what we started to do every day is, you saw it today on probably on the coffee one, because I have a virtual coffee, and we just found this great picture. And you know, life's like a cup of coffee; it's to be filled to the brim and enjoyed with friends. And so I'm using my own hashtag. But it's a great image. And then the more you go into these kinds of pictures, the more people are starting to be empowered and follow you, because you create good stuff. And that's what I really encourage people to do, is to just, actually, I've started to create an album now around all of my images. So if you're looking for, where is it? I think it's, there's all the other albums, see all. I've called it Jonathan's Awesome Inspirational Quotes. Every time I do an image now, I'm putting it in an album. So you can find many, many of the images And maybe you just become a resource for positivity or inspiration or building tips. And the more you do that, and the more you create an album, the more likelihood that people's going to go back and look because they know where to go. So even if you don't have a website with a great blog, you can still be that great resource by having a video album or a photo album within your page. And that certainly will make a huge difference for you. So with that, using quotes, you create impact, you create momentum, you create like a movement of people that's following you, and do stuff that nobody else is doing. I mean, this is, if opportunity does not build a door, and it's like the door closes, a window opens, all those sorts of phrases, people love, and they'll share it. Somebody said to me today, because I've been trying to sell somebody on a program for 3 months, would you believe? And today she signed up for a year's contract to work with us. And there's a wonderful phrase that she said to me, because it was quite interesting. I said, you'll notice that I'm not the pushy car salesman. I'm just kind of persistent. And she said, that's what I liked about you. I would take persistent over pushy any day of the week. Now, there's a great quote. I would take persistent over pushy any day of the week. So now I have a new quote. So if you ever hear people say that kind of thing, and like in the carpentry world, it's like measure twice, cut once. In the social media world, it's think twice, type once. All these kind of things can really start to empower your audience. And as I say, not many people are doing this. When you meet Kevin, my friend, on Tuesday on the next broadcast that we do, this guy just talks about all these things that he does that none of the other people in he's a speaker, nobody else does. And I was talking to a lady today, I am a peon in the social media world, but whenever I comment on his page, he always writes me back. I feel so special because he writes me back, and he's got thousands of followers. That's what makes the difference. So what I wanted to talk to you today a little bit more about is email marketing. So going from social media to their inbox by using a program. So I'm just going to stop the share for a bit and have a question time with this. Who is using an email management program other than just Outlook or Gmail? I can see Augie's hand go up. I can see Desiree's hand half going up. Is it up? Frank's going up. Oh, it's not Augie. It's Vince. All I can see is a shadow. All right. That's okay. I can see a British flag in the background, though, so that's better. There he is. He's going to open his windows. Bless his heart. So there is a great program that I would recommend here. It's called MailChimp, and MailChimp. It's totally free. And I'm going to show you some ideas around MailChimp. And what I love about MailChimp is that it will actually show you when people open an email. And if you have an attachment to a video, you have an attachment to a home, and they read this email and they click, you're going to know that too. So it's giving you a lot of quality information so that when you call that person, you already know they've opened this email 5 times, and they've clicked on your video, and they've clicked on your listing. So they're much more of a warm contact than they would be cold. So I would highly recommend that all of you at least open a MailChimp account and send your emails via MailChimp, because that way you know if people have received them and opened them. Because otherwise with Outlook or Gmail, which is great, and that way you can create lists, and you can also get subscriptions, because there's a lot of things on your social media that you can actually add to this. I'll show you on, bear with me a sec. So if you go to, this is my Facebook page, and you go to email sign up here, I actually have a little form on my Facebook page that gets people into my MailChimp. And then they subscribe to my list. So this is a post that you could be using this as a post. And just say, I read a newsletter every month, and it could be really useful to you because I'm putting tips about how to tile, how to find the best subfloor for a shower, who's the best deal in monitoring equipment, or the best lawn guys out there. I'm going to be interviewing local contractors every month, and it's in a newsletter. Would you like to join? Obviously adding value to what it is, and then you can, in your learn more box here on your social media, you could change that to something completely different. So when you have your Facebook page, which is super slow to open for me today, you get this learn more, but you see this little pencil here? So you can put a link. So even if you don't have a website, you can have a link to your MailChimp account so people could sign up. Or you could do many other things with that button. So you can edit the button to do whatever you want. So right now I'm using a link to a website, but you can, let's go back on that one. You can have a button that says get in touch, and they could call you, contact us, where they fill in a little form. They could send a Facebook message. They could sign up to your newsletter. They could get a quote or send an email to you. All of these buttons are available for you in Facebook. And if you have something like a MailChimp account, then you're actually going to be building a list legally and fairly. And you don't have a website at this point. You just have a MailChimp account and a Facebook page. And you can make your button do whatever you want it to do. So you can have people call you or contact you or fill in a little form. And that is available. So if we go back to my PowerPoint, what this is, it's a genuine screenshot for one of my clients. And this top line is open rates. So look at some of those numbers. 60, 70% open rates. So if you have 100 people on your list and 60 of them open it, you're doing pretty good. The blue line underneath is when people click on an attachment or a link within the email itself. So I'm offering almost at 20% of my emails getting click-throughs. I mean, not all of them work, and some of them we put to different lists, which is why the open rates are different for different lists within our email. But the whole Facebook's great. Likes are awesome, but likes will not put food on your table. Emails will. So the more we can get people to come from social to your Gmail or email account via MailChimp or Infusionsoft or Constant Contact or whichever one you want to use, I recommend MailChimp because it's easy to use. It's free up to 2,000 names. It gives you great data. You really, really want to be looking at trying to get your audience into email. And then whatever that email looks like, have some fun with it. So this was one I did a little while ago. I had a milestone on my Facebook page of 15,000 people. And I've been running a live meetup for 6 years at this point. So I took the two numbers of 6 and 115,000. I just said, I have an inner circle. I charge $47 a month, but because I'm celebrating a milestone, you can join my inner circle for $150 and get 6 months worth of membership. That worked really well. And this was a little app that I created on my phone, but that became my email marketing, and that was my strategy. I came up with a hashtag 15K going strong. I'm now at nearly 20,000, but these little things just work because I'm saving them $132 on the membership. It's almost 50% off. But I'm not saying it's 50% off. I'm saying here is a coupon for saving you $132. So that might be a way of starting to build a list, doing a contest. Like our page and sign up for our email for a chance to win dinner for two at Outback, whatever that might look like. And many of my clients have never done this before, and in the last year, we've brought them into the email newsletter world, and they're both done on MailChimp. This is a security company, and this is a hearing aid company. They had lists because people have bought from them, and they have transactions for home alarms, or they have transactions for hearing aids, but they've never done anything with those names. So all those people in your phone, all your friends and family and potential clients that you have in your phone, we should be trying to market to them in a way that we're helping, not selling. And this is the type of email that you can produce straight out of MailChimp. And you can have a cover picture, you can put your logo in, a picture of your vehicle or a property, some links to either your Facebook page or your website. You can embed some video into this, and it can work really well. And with the security company, the very first email that we sent out, they had about 385 people on their list, and 244 people opened it on the first day. One person unsubscribed, and actually she even knew who that person was. She said, you know what, I know her, she's a doctor, the last thing she needs is another email. She actually called her and said, Jacqueline, thanks so much, but I'm emailed out. I don't want to be rude, but I don't want your email. That's how good a quality list was. So 63% of our audience opened the email. 71 of them clicked on the email that we had about how to set your alarm when one of the sensors goes down and you want to just block out, say, a basement room or something. She got 2 brand new clients out of this email by people sharing and saying, oh my goodness, they just sent it. Could we ask at the end, if you know anybody who needs a system, would you share this email with them? So she got $5,000 out of new business from this one email to people that she already knew. How empowering is that? This is stuff that we already have at our fingertips. And as we build our Facebook page, by getting the email at the same time, it is an absolute home run. What we also found was with MailChimp, was we found out the best time of day to send the email. So we found that the best time of day to send her emails is 8 o'clock at night. So just as you guys now, you're at like 7:30, I bet you as soon as we finish this call, you'll look at your phone or you'll look at your computer and you'll check your email. So this 9 to 5 notion of work, it doesn't necessarily translate into the email campaigns. We found that the second best time to do it was 9 o'clock in the morning. So they're either at home with an iPad on the knee, or they get to the office, or the kids get dropped off at school or whatever, and they check their email. So we know through data that the best time for us is either 8 at night or 9 in the morning. And when we send the next email out, we use that data to do that. We were also able to see who clicked the attachment, even down to the names of the people and how many times they clicked it. So if Frank opens this email 8 times and I'm looking at it, I might be thinking, I need to give Frank a call because maybe he doesn't have a home phone number anymore. He's just gone onto his cell and his alarm system isn't working because we had it connected to a landline and he may not have one. And that's exactly what Jacqueline was doing. And she sold 2 new systems to people who went to this whole wireless system rather than the old-fashioned hardwired system. So email can work so well with MailChimp. This is a kitchen cabinet company that we do, and we send an email out once a quarter. So we say to people, we're not going to bombard you, but every quarter we're going to send an email, and we're going to give you some tips around what you could do. So this lady talked about the trends for last year, and that white was really, really in, and they showed a picture of a kitchen that they'd just done in white with some orange accents. She tells people what's the best color to be decorating your home this year if you want to sell it. And then a number of other techniques that we put into that. And we get a 45–50% open rate every single time. And it's a picture of them. It keeps them top of mind. People are not buying kitchens every day. And it works and works. So what I want to do is be able to bridge that connection from your social media to your email. I see I've got a couple of chats here. So constant contact seems to get sent to spam. Does MailChimp do the same? Well, it depends on your email. It's a great question, Frank. If your email is sales at or something like that, much more likely to go to spam. But MailChimp is very, very good. And if it is Frank at AOL or whatever the service provider that you guys have down there, or it's Gmail or it's your website, so it could be Rick at Carrie Buys Houses, it's probably depends on how sensitive the spam filter is set up on their computer. So you might want to do a Facebook post saying, I'm sending this email out. I'm sending it out to all my friends. Please check your junk or your spam. Because Google now has 5 different folders on Gmail, and other platforms have different things. So it may go in one of those folders, but it's unlikely to go to junk in the first instance because it's a clean email. So have a look at that. Is there a way that you would recommend going from a free meetup to a is there a way that you recommend going from a free meetup to a paid subscription? Great question, Vince. Are you here? I don't think he may have gone onto his phone. But if it's not, I did this. I did a meetup for free for 5 years. And what I found out, I was getting a lot of network marketers and other people who just were trying to use my room to sell to other people. And I've actually asked people to leave my meetup because they were using my platform to sell to other people. And I've always said that my meetup was purely educational, and it's not a traditional networking meetup. So at year 6, I said, you know what? I'm charging $10 cover at the door, and I actually give the money away. I don't put it in my jeans. I actually pick a local charity every meetup, and whatever money we raise, we give to that charity at the end of the night. So the $10, what it did for me is it stopped the tire kickers. It stopped the people who were trying to ride on my back to get that kind of stuff. And now I've got friends who do the same thing. It's $15 if you pay in advance on PayPal on Meetup, and it's $25 that you pay at the door. And a lot of people pay $25 at the door. I'm not at that point, I just charge a flat $10 and I give it away to charity anyway. But that's a way of how I've leveraged it. And Desiree agrees that MailChimp is easy to use. You've got a lot of templates that you can set up. It's very simple. And it's much more professional to have it on your website that it goes to MailChimp, because what you can then set up is an autoresponder. So as soon as people get an email from you on MailChimp, hey, Alexa, then they get a reply. You don't have to reply to them. You can literally set it up so it automatically responds saying, thank you so much for writing. We look forward to being in touch with you. But in the meantime, here's a couple of resources you might find handy. And you could embed some email video from your YouTube channel or something into that email. So it's working for you while you're in the middle of. I had an email come through today from a very large potential client, and I emailed her back, but she filled out a form on my website, went straight to my, let me just bring it up here. I'll show you the form. So she has given me like 5 pages, because I have a questionnaire that they fill in. I have like 5 screens of data all about the client before I've even called her. I know exactly what she needs, and I know if and how I can help her. And I just wrote back and I just said, Jessica, I'm having a really busy day. I got your email, I acknowledge it. I will get back to you personally by tomorrow. So she's had an autoresponder with the survey that she then went and filled in, but I've also connected with her. And that's business coming to me without me working it, because she found me on Facebook. I saw that she'd liked my page this morning, and suddenly she's filled in the form. It's all working by rotation. It's fantastic. So let's go back. So bridging that connection. I can't stress it highly enough. I'll say it one more time. Likes are great. Emails are awesome. So let's carry on through. So with that, I mentioned that when people get my email, I send them a survey. And the reason I send them a survey is I only have so much time to sell, and I want to sell it to the people that are going to get the best value out of it, and also the people that I want to work with too. So this is a client of ours. He sells a software for contractors to make sure that they're secure in all of their risk management. So if there ever was an on-site accident, they would be able to go back to workers' compensation and say, here are my safety records. Here's a list of all the meetings that we had. Here's all the training that we do. Here's all the inventory of safety gear that I bought. And this is like $9 a month. And the way Alfred does this is that when people go to his site, they fill in a little form. So here it is. And it says, take our free assessment now. And when they go to his page, so it tells them a little bit about what he does. And then they say, I'm ready. And this survey is a beautiful thing because you slide your score. So you can do this on your finger on a phone, or you can do it with your cursor. And then you start looking at the questions. And the way he's done it, and this would be so good for you guys, is to really gauge where people are at. So by the time you get the survey back, and I'll tell you, I'll send you a link to how to get this survey for free for the first time. They literally get such a qualified answer back that they know whether this is the right person for them or not. And it's a wonderful thing. I will send you a link to Smart Biz Quiz in the Facebook group. But that is a great way of pre-screening people before you even get on the phone with them. It makes a huge difference. So this is types of questions that I have on my website. Do you have an active blog writing strategy? We call this content marketing. And this is a form filled in. No, I don't. Are you using social media confidently? Not really. Are your social media efforts paying off in terms of new leads in this building? Nope. Are people constantly referring you to others because they know of your great services? Yes, this does happen. But this is on land, not online. Do people call or emailing you asking for goods and services having already made their mind up you are exactly what they need? They do. So what I'm finding out here is that this guy has a real business. He's getting good referrals. He's converting them into sales already. So then I go to this. Are people finding you and liking your posts and sharing them? No. Are you using your online marketing connections to make inland or on-land face-to-face meetings? No, I'm not. So at this point, I know he's doing something good. I know people are referring him. I know he's selling. He just needs help with his social media. So at this point, I've already pre-qualified a client, and I haven't done anything. He signed up for my email list. He gets sent the survey. I get the survey back. When I call him, I can close him because he's already filled in the survey. And that is really the difference of a good email strategy when you build it through. So whatever that email capture looks like, you want to be able to, this is on a website, but you can do it on Facebook, have something in exchange for the email, because nobody wants an email. They want to know that you're not going to sell a list. They want to know that you're not going to spam them with too much email. But they also want to know that you're providing value. So let's go back a bit. So in this one, this is Madeline. She's one of our sales trainers. What she does is she offers 5 days to sales mastery. So you get an email for 5 days with a video from Madeline about how to improve yourself as a seller. And at the end of the 5 days, they get an option to fill in the survey, and then she'll do a strategy session call. So that's what the pop-up box on her website looks like. It's fun. We've got to take a picture to sort of point to the box. And the red is an action, the gold is quality. So all these things, you can pop into that, and that's how it works. This is another simple form that I have on one of my builder sites. They click the pop-up. This form comes in and says, yes, please send me. This was that package I was telling you about yesterday about building your, last week about building your own home out of a timber kit. So they get this 38-page PDF, but we get the name, we get the email, and we get the question here, like, when are you hoping to build? So we now know a lot of information in exchange for giving them a PDF that we already built. This was a health client. You know, we want people to be healthy. We're offering a 15-minute free consult. We're getting the name, telephone number, email, phone number, and a quick message. The more boxes you ask, the less likelihood people are going to fill it in. So name and phone number would be ideal. Name and email, even better. But as I say, the more boxes, I think for every box, the chances of somebody fill the form goes down by 10%. So if 2 boxes, you've probably got a 60% chance of somebody filling it, 40, 30, 20, depending on how many boxes. But these are the kind of things that you can have on a website or your Facebook page to really encourage. Right now, I'm giving this free month of Inner Circle, and I'm getting multiple people fill it in every month. I've had 3 today, and they get to join me for a month. They get to see who we are. They get a feel for how we do it. And at the end of it, we give them an offer to join it, and people spend money just because I give them something free in advance. All of this comes out of social media to begin with. What I then do just on my site is that once I've got the survey back, and there's the survey start of the questions, I have a calendar linked called vCEDAR to my website, but you can have it standalone without a website even. And then you can start to get people to go to your calendar and fill in a call. So I have a 30-minute or a 45-minute call where people can sort of book some time with me one-on-one. And if any of you want to book some time with me one-on-one to help up-level your business even more, this is the form that I would send you. And it's that connection from social to email. And it's the email is where business gets done. You might even want to print your newsletter out of MailChimp into a PDF as well. And this is a property management company that we work with. And they put this under the door of each apartment. And they're very good at sort of telling people what it's like to live in the block that they have. And it's a great, they're not cheap. I think these work out about 78 cents or something to have these printed. But they were good quality and were well read. And we didn't have a lot of emails of people who were renting from them, but we obviously knew where they lived. So we were putting these emails under the doors, if you like. I have a challenge for you. I'm going to unshare the screen for a sec because I want to see your faces. Stop share. How would you feel about making a video between now and next week and putting it into an email? I got 2 thumbs up. You don't have to. I got 3 thumbs up. I got 2 thumbs up from Vinny. But serious, Frank's not sure. You don't have to, but I have seen this work so well. When someone receives an email, and the email I got from this lady yesterday, her husband's in the military, and she has her own sort of coaching business from home. She's in Utah. She made a Facebook video, not even a YouTube video. It was a Facebook live video, which just said people what she did, and she put it in an email. And when you click the video, it comes back to the Facebook page. It's not even a YouTube or a website. She doesn't have that. She just has a Facebook page. So that video she put on Facebook, she put into an email newsletter. I clicked on it. I filled out a form already. I really like. She was talking. A lot of people talk about glass ceilings. She talks about glass walls and how we just, these walls really don't exist, but we think that they do. But really, we can expand our boundaries if we just have the right mindset. And it was just a very nice short video. She put that into her MailChimp email and sent it out. So I've got 4 people up for a challenge, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got that. I want to see, please send me that email, and I would like to open it, and I'll work with you this week, and then we'll send it out, help you set up MailChimp, whatever you want to do. And I think it could be a lot of fun, and I think it would, you'd be surprised how well that might work. I have a realtor that I worked with a couple of years ago. Her name was Angela Evanet. She'd never send out an email. We worked out that she had 1,200 names and addresses in her phone. So we imported them into MailChimp. We sent out the first email, which was like, you may not even have heard from me for 3 or 4 years. Here's a picture of me and my boys. Haven't they grown up? The property market's insane right now. If you're thinking about buying or selling, I'd love to just stay in touch with you because I may have not spoken to you for too long, and I'm sorry about that. And out went the email. It was very simple, very personal. She had 2 people list with her from that email. It's like, you know what, Angela, I've been thinking about selling my house. You couldn't have sent an email at a better time. Could you tell me how much my home is worth? She got 2 listings from that one email. So it was a simple little video of Angela and her 3 boys walking along a railway line. You don't need a lot of tech to do all of this. I do it all on my phone. I have a cheap little tripod. I have a little microphone that I put in it, but you don't even need that. It'll just work on your phone as it stands. You can use your earbuds if you need to. But if you make that email, put the video into it and send it out, I would love to see the results. This is a typical email that I've been putting out. This was September 11. Last year, it was my dad's anniversary. My dad died. He died. His birthday was September 11. And it was just a lot of things that were going on. And me sitting in my backyard on a rock, it was a 2-minute video. I put $5 into boosting this video. But look how many people I reached and how many people watched it. I got a lot of people, and I'm just reflecting on what happened on 9/11, because we all remember where we were when the Twin Towers were hit. It was also my dad's birthday, and he passed away, and I was just reminiscing about my dad. And that was my newsletter. It's like, where were you on 9/11? And I just shared a story. But it built affinity. It built relationship. I don't think I got any new clients out of this, but boy, did I get a lot of comments about, enjoyed that video. Sorry about your dad. And many people will reconcile with you or in losing a sibling or a parent or a child, whatever that might look like. And just amazing. And it was just simply my iPhone. I actually had someone stand and film this one, but it's not too hard. And then you can embed that video into your blog. You can embed that video into a newsletter. You can embed that video sort of into different your social media channels. It works. That's just me sitting at my desk. This was me explaining why I changed my Facebook page from We Make Stuff Happen to Jonathan Christian and the reason that I did that. A little bit of history about my very first business card up there. It's looking very retro. And, but the video in the email is what people click, and it's an amazing thing. People love your story. They love to hear what it is that you do and how you do it. And the more authentic you are with that story within this piece, it works. Let me share a quick video with you from our friend Gary Vaynerchuk, because it might just sort of let you know how this might work.
So for the last 6 months, I've been baffled looking at startups, looking at the client work that we do here at VaynerMedia from other agencies, and the brands have done competitive work when we're auditing things, looking at new startups. How many people still don't design their websites or their experiences for the mobile web, or not even thinking about building mobile apps? This whole notion of mobile first is not something I've owned. It's not something that I coined. This has been around for a while. But yesterday, in the Consumer Habits on Mobile studies that came out, a fun little stat came out that made me really decide it's time to make just one video. So once and for all, in 2013, we all realized that mobile, this thing, is the thing that you need to be thinking about in your business, whether you sell tires, soda water, and whatever you do. If you're a lawyer, you need to be thinking mobile first, second, and 69th, hence the stat. 9% of people admitted to in this study to using the mobile device during sex, having such boring sex after checking the score or maybe doing something else. But 9% of people admitted to using a mobile device during sex. 19% of people admitted to using a mobile device in church, and 55% admitted to using a phone while driving. So let's remember admitted, which means 9% during sex is 18%, 15% in church is probably 30, 40, 50%, and 55% of driving is probably 99.7%. If you are not storytelling on the mobile device first, and more importantly, as a marketer and business person, if you're not thinking about how to tell your story on a mobile device first, you are going to lose.
No punches there, but one of the things that I love about Gary, this is a video that was made 4 years ago, but it is exactly relevant today, because what MailChimp does is that when it produces a video, it's responsive. So whether somebody reads it on a desktop or an iPad or an iPhone, the email fits the screen. So nobody's having to do this to try and find out what it is that you say. It fits the screen. So just another reason I just want to emphasize having because if you send an email to somebody and they open it up and they're in the mail and they go through it and they may open it, they may have to open it wide to read something. The text might be really hard to follow, but some people their emails now are just absolutely perfect for mobile, and that's what you want. You want your email to be so simple that people can read it. So think mobile first. What do they say? First, second, third, and 69th or whatever. It's just another reason that your emails need to be mobile friendly, and MailChimp will do that for you. Let's carry on. Fun, huh? Thank you, Gary. So even if you have a website, which I would encourage you all to do at some point, make sure that when people arrive on the website, it's inviting. This is this Timber Homes company that I was talking about. They have 4 different things that they can sell. So we created an icon. So just arriving on the website, if it goes to mobile, these all go into a nice long line. But it's a West Coast home builder, or do you want a package, or do you want a prefab log home, or do you live on an island where there's no power and we can just send it all over and you can build it? Lots of different ways, but each one of these segments answers a question. And then when you get to the main website, again, it's mobile friendly. It works great on a big screen, but it also works great on a mobile phone. And people then just totally get the message right because of what they do. And those pictures pretty much sell themselves. So I really want to encourage you to start up by getting it into email, thinking about maybe having a website with a blog, because that's where that story is going to be told. And that's what we talked about a lot last week. And really, really putting that in together, because I can help. Like Rick joined the call this morning. We put Kerry's website into a hot seat and we analyzed it. And we looked at some of his posts, and man, he's doing awesome. Yes, there's more he can do, and I could definitely work with him to take him from a B to an A+. Wouldn't be too hard, but at least he's a B, and a good B. But so I'm happy to help any of you in this course. If you just want to call me out and sort of work one-on-one with you just to get you to the next level, I really want to do that, because even after this course is finished, it won't be over. There is no finish line with teaching social media, and I want to be able to give you as much tools as I can to run with. But just so you know, those tools will always keep changing, and by staying in touch through Facebook groups or inner circles or that kind of thing, it will help you. Because we've got to, and I'll finish with this, what Gary says, again, it's market in the year in which you live. So most people now are on Instagram. Most people will read a good email if it's sent at the right time and it looks really good. Most people will follow you on Facebook if you find those posts that are entertaining and engaging and all the stuff that we've talked about that you can clearly see work if you get the right methodology together. So that's where I want to end up with empowering today. I'm here to answer any questions you might have about email marketing or blogs or linking your Facebook. But it's at this point, we've now created an audience. They know what we do. They like what we do. And now if we can just get that email, that's where the magic starts to happen. And next week is Excite, and that's where I'll show you how to sort of close those deals through social media. So any questions on this? Yes, Frank. I'll unmute everybody, and then we should be okay. There we go.
Did you go back to that page where you're showing like the different choices that you could make?
Yes. Yeah, that is in Facebook. And let me just come out of my PowerPoint into my browser. So when you go to Facebook itself, it's here. So when you go to a business page, so this isn't the friends, this is the like page. You have this.
This is where the builder was.
Yeah, you have this. So you have this button here, and then what you can do is when you click on the button, and whoever that is, could you mute yourself? You see all these drop downs. So it could be if it book services, like book now or start an order, or the get in touch, all these drop downs, these are all here on Facebook for you. And you just, so let's just, I want to say contact now, and then I put in my cell number, save. I've now changed that button to call now, and if someone clicks on that button, I could test the button. My phone number is coming up right there, and they could be calling me straight from my Facebook page. I will change it because I don't want people calling me straight from my Facebook page personally right now. But that's how you do it. Simple as that. Is that helpful? Yeah. And this is recorded too, so you can always go back and watch that again. Awesome. So what patches are on today, Desiree? What are you on? B12 or what?
Oh, they're always the same.
Okay, so it's just an infusion all the time through.
Yeah, you just change it out 24 hours.
And how has that been for your health?
I feel awesome.
So are you talking about that on your social media?
I do. Very much so.
So you might want to say, do you want to look good and feel good without having to do all that?
That's what I pretty much say. That it's the main promotion is for mommies who need that extra boost of energy to make it through the day.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it does. It really does help.
Yeah. No, good for you. Because there's lots of services. I was working with a fellow yesterday, and he has a charity working with down and out people in LA, and he's found that there's a solar panel company that will give him a pretty hefty commission on every lead. So on part of his blog now is that it just says, have you gone solar? And it's a link to this Solartron solar panel company, and he gets 30 points for every sale. And he said, I haven't had too many, but he's had some pretty good effects. And he's helping, vagrant people down and out. So yeah, there's lots of things you can do to add on. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Who else has got a question? Mr. Vince.
I have a question. With Creating Wealth USA and personally buying houses and such, how do we differentiate between the education side and reaching people that maybe are behind on their payments and need help? How do we with our videos and such, how would you recommend structuring the messages for both end clients of buying their house and such, and to teach them about the business? Because I know Lexi and I do a lot of both for Creating Wealth and for end clients of purchasing their home and stuff. So what do you recommend the separation be?
Great question. What I've done with some of my clients is we have a different theme on different days. Mm-hmm. So it might be Motivation Monday, and then Tip Tuesday. And Tip Tuesday could be, this is for you if you're behind in your payments and you're struggling, and this is what we can do. Mm-hmm. And Motivation Monday could be the investment side. So quite often you can say, this is for you if, is an awesome opening line.
Okay.
Try and have different themes for different days. I mean, when I was making my videos, I was making one every business day. So I had Motivation Monday, Tip Tuesday. I called it Reward Wednesday, which was rewarding yourself for getting halfway through the week or saying thank you to a client for working with you. Throwback Thursday, where I'd go back to something that happened previously, and a Fun Friday. So I knew every day of the week I had a tip, and I had a theory around what that was going to be, and it was quite easy to do. So if you pick, maybe it's Wealth Wednesday or, I'm Behind Thursday or something like that.
Okay.
And then make the post specific, and then everybody will be interested, but that way you're qualifying your posts, I would suggest.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Even on a website, you could say, are you interested in wealth, or you need some help, and have 2 buttons right there, and then literally get them to go to 2 different sections of the website.
Okay.
To do too.
I know a big thing that I like to ask people if you're being arrested for being a real estate investor, is there enough evidence online to convict you? So
that's great.
That's so we're trying to balance that and educating, the other side too. So I do appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think that's a good one. That's funny. I'd create a post out of that.
Okay.
That is awesome. Yeah. Anybody else? That's it. If any of you want to do a one-on-one with me over the next couple of weeks, I would be delighted to do a Zoom just with you, and we'll go deep on your site. And if you need some help setting up anything at all, just reach out. I'm here for you to do that as well.
Awesome.
Okay, my friends. Well, thank you so much. It's 5 o'clock in British Columbia, so that means 8 o'clock in Florida. So, anybody watching Game of Thrones?
Oh, me. I am.
There is such a community around what's happening in Game of Thrones. So if you think your ideal audience, the more posts about Game of Thrones on your social media, insane.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yes. And I never want to get political in my social media deliberately, but there's a lot going on in your country with 45, shall we say. But just be very careful how you open up that can of worms, because I've seen people do it, and suddenly there's 150 comments, and they're bad and good, and just be careful of using the politics when it comes to trying to get engagement.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd avoid it personally, unless you're up for a good scrap. I can't believe how polarized people are right now. It's amazing.
It'll definitely get reactions, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. What you wish for, though. Okay, folks, I'll render this, record it, and it'll be up on the page in an hour or so. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you next week.
you.
I'll be delivering it next week from Dallas, Texas.
Wonderful. And if you wouldn't mind reposting that challenge so everyone could get that challenge.
Repost the challenge, and I also have a link for you guys going out, which is to get a free copy of that quiz as well.
Perfect.
Challenge, quiz, and video. Thanks for that. Speak to you guys soon.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Bye.
Jonathan.
Night.